What's up, everybody, and welcome once again to the Gimme. Why the Gimme? You guys know why, because it's good. That's why. No football to bet on this weekend? No problem. We got you covered. The PGA Tour travels to beautiful Torrey Pines in California for this week's Farmers Insurance Open. It all gets going Thursday morning. Coming up here on the show, we're going to spin the betting wheel a little bit differently than usual, so stay tuned for that. We're going to make a DFS lineup like we always do. We're going to give our perfect portfolios and so much more. I'm Jason Sobel from GolfBet, here with my friends Peter Jennings and Amanda Rose. We've got a nice giveaway. We're going to give out a GolfBet hat later. But first, what's going on, guys? Amanda, how are you? And oh, by the way, give me one bet that you're making this week.
I'm good, Jason. How are you? I'm going with Adam Scott a lot this week. I like him for multiple reasons.
Yeah, I like that. How about you, Pete? What's happening?
Doing well. Excited for the Super Bowl, next week, but really excited for this golf tournament. It's a specific course that I think there's a huge course fit on, and I will be talking about Rory McIlroy, who I believe should be the favorite this week.
Ooh, we're going to get into that. The first bet that I made this week was Hideki Matsuyama, 25-1 outright. I just think that putter could get maybe not hot. His putter never gets hot. It could get tepid at Torrey Pines, and tepid might just be enough to get Hideki to the top of that leaderboard. We'll talk about that as we continue. And let's get to that top of the board this week. The odds have Jon Rahm, not Rory McIlroy, as the favorite. Past champion is 7-1 this week. Rory McIlroy has played this event twice last 2 years. Third and a fifth place. Not bad. Plus 875 right now. Xander Schauffele, who's struggled at this event, we'll get into that. He is 12-1. Tony Finau, who struggled to win, if you hadn't noticed, he's 17-1. Harris English has a win already this year at Kapalua, 22-1. And oh, there's my boy Hideki at 25-1. Peter, you mentioned you didn't think it was the right numbers. Rory Rahm should be flip-flopped. What else? Anything else strike you at the top of this list?
Yeah, give me Rory and Rahm flip-flopped with Rahm not playing last week with a sore back, a little bit of a, maybe not a red flag, but something to be concerned with. And Rory looked amazing over in Europe. Bad Sunday, made him finish third, but certainly could have won. And I think Rory sets up extremely well at this course. Xander initially was priced the same as Finau. Sharp bettors have moved that line, and Xander's now at that 12-1 mark, which is where I think he should be. And the rest looks pretty good to me. I could see a Hideki over English as well, but for sure, a clear top four, and then a variety of guys kind of in the next tier, starting with Hideki and Harris English.
Yeah, so let's get to our perfect portfolios. Some of us have $100 to spend, some of us not so much. You know what? As we always say, doesn't matter. High stakes, low stakes, high volume, low volume. We all want winners, and we're trying to give you some winners this week. You see, last week's results on there. Last week was a long time ago. Don't even bother with that. This week's going to be so much better. Trust me. So let's get right to what we're doing this week. Peter Jennings, where are you putting your 100?
Yeah, so I'm going to invest my $100 with half of it on Rory, who, I think is a really strong play this week. I'm going to do top 10. I don't mind outright top 5. There's a variety of ways that you can bet Rory. I do think he should be a favorite over Rahm. And really, this course requires distance. And, you want guys who are lead off the tee. And Rory's been the best driver of the golf ball for the last 5 years of the PGA Tour. Slipped a smidge last year, but still lead off the tee, has plenty of distance, hits the ball really high. And I just think we'll see the Rory kind of pre-COVID swing show up in the calendar year of 2021. So I want to bet on Rory. I want to get on him early, and this is a perfect spot to do so. My next investment is going to be on Xander, who I know has really bad course history, but the market's moved on him, and I was able to make some of these bets before. Xander at a top 10 plus 175, still a smidge of value for me. I think he's a really good pick here. I don't know why he hasn't played well here. He does everything extremely well. I don't think people realize just how good Xander Schauffele is. So far, second in total strokes gained total. He's a plus in every category so far this year. His worst category is strokes gained approach, where he's 44th. But you go through and you look at everything. He's gaining strokes in every single stat. You go back to the 2020 season, he was third in total strokes gained and was 37th was his worst category. In strokes gains off the tee, approach, around the green, putting, tee to green. So he is just so solid. Phil Mickelson thinks he's the best player in the world, and in the stats, he's right there. So I love Xander. I think the course history initially kind of had his prices too high. So I want to be buying Xander, having some regression to the mean at this course. And then finally, Charlie Hoffman, I'm going to invest $25 at a top 20 plus 350. Good course history here. And Charlie Hoffman is really good off the tee, a long player. Kind of the one weakness in his game is traditionally kind of an approach, I would say, which matters. But I think this is more about being really good and long off the tee, especially with cooler conditions. So that's how I'm investing my money. Amanda, how about you?
I am going in a bit of a different direction. I'm going to start off with $2 on Cameron Davis for a top 10. He played well last week at the Amex. He's been playing really well since July, but he hasn't broken through yet. And every year he's played this event, he has played better and better than the year before. Last year he had a decent showing at the Amex and then went on to have another good week at the Farmers. So I see a lot of connection between the California swing and people kind of playing well during this time. So looking at all that information, I really like him for that top 10 play. Another Cameron I'm going to go with is Cameron Tringali, $2 for a top 10 play. He's finished as high as fourth at this event. His game has been on a nice trajectory since the COVID restart. He keeps coming close, but he has not quite broken through yet, right? On tour, he's from Southern California. He plays well at courses like Torrey Pines. So I'm putting $2 on him for a top 10 also. Like I mentioned earlier, Adam Scott, I'm taking him for an outright this week. I'm going to put $6 on it. His best putting surface is POA. He only played this event one time before, and you know what he finished, guys? He finished second. So historically, he's played well at Torrey, not just the one time he played the Farmers, but in the U.S. Open in the past. He won 2 hours up the road last year at the Genesis. And like I said, I see a lot of crossover between the guys that play well in these California events. So I really like him this week, and that's where I am putting my $6. Jason, where are you going?
Well, they say never go full fee now. Sorry, guys, I'm all in. I am pot committed this week. I get it. There's not a whole lot of win equity when you're betting on Tony Finau, and so I'm not betting him to win. I'm going $50 on Tony Finau for a top 20 this week. I think that's a pretty safe bet. He's played this event 6 times. He's been top 25 all 6 times, so I love getting him inside the top 20. He was 4th, of course, last week at the Amex. I'm taking $25. I'm betting Tony Finau top 10. I think he's going to finish top 10. I'm betting $25 Tony Finau. Also, top 5. I'm either going to be winning or I'm going to be losing this week, guys. I'm all in on Tony Finau. I just think his game is a perfect fit for Torrey Pines. I think the South Course is a great course for his skill set. This is a place where I take him every year. I'm not sure there's a better track in the PGA Tour annual schedule for Tony Finau. And, oh, by the way, I might just be looking at Tony Finau for the U.S. Open in 5 months right there at Torrey Pines. So we have plenty of time to get to that. But first, let's play the wheel a little bit. Guys, we've changed it up a little bit. We've switched up the wheel, the betting wheel. Producer Evan Abrams has posted different bets instead of the players. We'll have to match a player up to each bet. I like it, I think, until I get my name called, and then I might not like it anymore. Evan Abrams, you're going to call out the bet. You're going to call out who you want. We're going to match a player to it. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go. The one thing you guys should note, I did leave Patrick Reed on the board because nobody likes Patrick Reed. So you might as well leave him on the board. It's something funny to fall on. So hopefully get a little Patrick Reed. All right. First spin around. Let's go. And the first one is going to be, it was almost Reed. That would have been fun, but it is top 5. And I'm going to go to Peter. What do you think for a top 5, Pete?
Yeah, I mentioned Rory already, who I think is a really good top 5. I think there's a ton of value in Rory, but I'll give you guys something a little bit different. I mentioned Charlie Hoffman too. I'll go farther down past him, who I think would also be a good top 5 bet. I'll go with Luke List as a top 5 bet, who you're getting really long odds on depending on the book that you're betting. And Luke List has the one thing that I'm just looking for in all the bets this week. He has a ton of firepower. And he really started to play a lot better last year. The putter is still a question mark at times, but I think putting this week is not nearly as important as it is other weeks, and distance is king. So I'm going to be buying these bombers, and I think Luke List is a really good price.
Luke Lobster List. Love it. Awesome. Like all right. Let's roll it. Let's hide top 5 and spin again. And on the board, it's going to be a top 20. All right. So let's go top 20 to Amanda. What do you got, Amanda? Top 20. Throw me a
really
top 10.
like, I was hoping I was going to get top 10. I really want to say Doug Gim for a top 10, but I like Doug Gim for a top 20. I almost picked him last week for our DFS lineup. He had a great showing. God, I don't even know where they were last week. Oh, that's right,
Yeah,
Amex. So I love Doug Gibb. His game is really on a good trajectory. He was a great player at the University of Texas. He was down there with Taylor Funk. I'm not sure if he was there during the Bo Hostler years, but he has a good pedigree coming into the tour, and I think he's getting more comfortable as he's out there. And I think top 20 is not that far of a stretch for him this week, especially after his great play last week. So I am going with Doug Gim for a top 20.
Doug Gim is a frequent guest on this show. Comes up a lot. All right, let's hide top 20 and spin it for Jason now. All right, it is going to be. Oh, it's long shot. It's perfect. All right,
okay. I've got a lot of long shots. I mean, I've got like full cards here with just long shots, names written all over them. I've got to narrow it down to one for the sake of this pick. And I'm going to go with Brandon Hagee for a few different reasons. First of all, he's a SoCal guy. He grew up in Southern California. He should be very familiar with Torrey Pines. Secondly, he's in good form, finished 21st last week after getting in off the alternate list. And thirdly, he's a bomber. I am specifically looking at big hitters this week. Just like Peter said, I want firepower. All of my long shots will be guys that hit the ball a long way off the tee, and Brandon Hagee certainly qualifies. So that is my long shot, among others. I'll be mentioning some more long shots as we continue. Evan, thank you. Good luck producing the rest of the show.
Appreciate it, guys. Reed will get his time. Don't worry.
We might get a Patrick Reed mention in there at some point. So let's talk a little bit about Torrey Pines. Of course, playing two tracks this week, the South and the North, one round on each during the first two rounds, and then, of course, the weekend rounds on the South course, which will also host the U.S. Open Championship come this June. It's going to be chilly. It's going to be a little breezy. It's going to be rainy, especially on Friday during the second round. Today on Hitting the Green, my SiriusXM PGA Tour radio show, my co-host for the day, Carl Paulson, theorized that the better draw might be, it's not just early late against late early. This is like early South, late North might be the best draw. There's a lot of different combinations this week. So I think there's something to be said about picking the right combination, but early South, late North, that's the guess right now. It could be important when making your picks, could be important when making your DFS lineup. So let's take a look at, instead of props this week, we're going to throw a dart. I love throwing darts. Let's throw a dart and see what we can come up with. Amanda, give me a play this week where you're throwing a dart and seeing if you can hit something.
So I'm actually going to totally contradict Pete in Pete's perfect portfolio with his Xander pick. I'm taking Xander for an MC Hammer this week. The reason being, I love math and I love statistics. No, I don't. But he's missed the cut 4 out of 5 times here. So, I mean, you kind of look at that and go, well, maybe 6 times a charm. But statistically speaking, you just get better value fading him this week. I think he'll fare a little bit better when they head back to California in February, but I just don't think this week is his week. And I'm going to go on a limb. I know Xander's a very, very talented player, and I hate to do this, but I'm going to go Xander MC Hammer this week.
Woo.
Sorry, Pete.
3-1. I mean, you're getting a good number at least. So,
yeah.
And it's happened before. We always say we don't like betting on things that have never happened. That's happened for the last 5 years, as you mentioned, Amanda. So I'm going to throw my dart. I mentioned that I like a lot of long shots and a lot of long shots with offensive firepower. Wyndham Clark at 160-1 outright. At some point, I think on the West Coast swing in the next 4 to 6 weeks, Wyndham Clark is going to pop. And I'm hoping it's this week. If it's not this week, I'll probably keep backing him. But 160-1, I think there might be a little win equity there. But if not, I think he can at least finish top 10, top 20, be a nice DFS play this week. Peter, what do you think of that one?
I love it, and I'm going to do the same dart throw, and I'll give some more stats to back up why I think Wyndham Clark has a tremendous amount of value in all formats. I show value on him as an outright top 5, top 10, top 20. Basically every bet, I think there's value in Wyndham Clark, kind of like you see value in Tony Finau, and it's because he's so elite in terms of distance off the tee. 4th, averaging over 316 yards off the tee in 2021, was top 35 or so in 2020 as well. And the big thing that I'm looking for that is suppressing the value on Wyndham Clark is the putter to regain his putter to regain the form that he normally has. This year in the 2021 season, he's 196th in strokes gained putting. Wyndham Clark is one of the best putters in the PGA Tour, which is shown up in the stats, normally in the top 20 range. I think he was 16th in 2020. So some regression with the putter in that elite distance. I think there's tremendous value. And I, too, am looking to invest in Wyndham Clark on this West Coast swing.
Yeah, the combination of hits it a long way and makes a lot of putts. If everything in the middle is just kind of average, he's still going to be a pretty good player in the long run. So I like that for this week and beyond as well. Let's get to our matchups. Amanda, what's your favorite matchup this week?
My favorite matchup, I'm going to go with good old Florida Gator Billy Horschel over Will Zalatoris. I know Will is a very talented player, but I think his time will come. I don't think it's going to be this week, and I don't always like the value on Will Zalatoris. So I'm going to go with Billy Horschel over him this week. Billy has been playing really well recently. Has done incredible things in his career. He's a proven winner. He's won the FedEx Cup. And I think this week at a course like Torrey, I like him a little bit more over Will Zalatoris, he's not quite tested here, and we don't know what he's going to do here yet.
All right. Well, I'm not fading your pick completely, but I'm taking Ryan Palmer over Billy Horschel. So, I mean, we both win if Ryan Palmer beats Billy Horschel and he beats Will Zalatoris. Oh, by the way, you should probably take Ryan Palmer over Will Zalatoris, too. I guess that's like the one of those properties we learned in 11th grade. In any case, I like Ryan Palmer this week. He lost in the playoff 3 years ago. Since then, he's been 13th and 21st. Palmer is a horse kind of guy. He's or horse kind of guy, whatever way you want to put it. But he's a guy that when he plays well somewhere, he tends to play well there year after year. Played well in Hawaii, and so I think he's going to come out still firing on the West Coast. A good course for him. Even money over Billy Horschel this week. Peter, where are you going with yours?
Yeah, I've mentioned Charlie Hoffman multiple times, and I really like this matchup with Charlie Hoffman over Joel Damon minus 110. And I think there's a couple things working here. One, I'm bullish on Charlie Hoffman for a variety of reasons, like I already mentioned. Specifically, he's a long hitter off the tee, and this is a really good course for him as he's shown playing well at Torrey Pines. And Joel Damon is someone I normally am somewhat bullish on. I think the market is normally pretty right on him. And this week, I don't think he's a horrible pick, but he's not nearly as long as Charlie Hoffman. He's under 300 yards off the tee on average this season. And he's coming off a 74 on Friday to miss the cut at the American Express. So recent poor form versus a guy who I think is playing better than him right now, who also has more distance. And it's basically a coin flip. Give me Charlie Hoffman over Joel Damon.
I like that. No concerns about Hoffman withdrawing with a back injury last week?
I am a little concerned, but it's one of those things where I'm trusting the numbers with the history and the model. I did dock him a smidge, and he's still showing value. So that's a numbers thing. If I hear that he's really bothered by the back, then I'll be concerned. But my sense is if he's shown up to play, then he's ready to go.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It goes for Hoffman, goes for John Rahm, who withdrew before the event last week on Monday. If you're healthy enough to play, you're probably healthy enough to play well. So I tend to agree with you there, Peter. Let's get to our ultimate DFS lineup. Peter and I do it every week on the Action Network Golf Bet podcast. You can check all the models and tools on Fantasy Labs, make you a much smarter player in the DFS platforms. Amanda, surprise, surprise, you're going first this week because you do every week. So weird.
It's age over beauty, Jason. So I go before you guys. That's how it works.
You might beat us.
So that was a joke. It was the opposite.
I was trying to rationalize that. Yeah. All right, you go.
So I'm gonna kind of copy my picks from earlier because last week I copied Jason. This week I'm just copying myself. I'm gonna go with Adam Scott. I like his value this week. You're getting him at under $10,000. He's played so well here before. If he can just get that putter going, I think he has a great chance here. He finished second here last year. He's had great showing. He had a good showing here at a U.S. Open in the past. Like I said, he won at Genesis, 2 hours up the road, but still Southern California course. So Adam Scott at that value is someone I really like. So he is going to start our lineup.
I like it.
All right. Well, I'm just going to snipe the guy that you want to take as well, Jason, who I think is one of the best DFS values. We were both on him as our dart throw, Wyndham Clark outright. And DFS, this is probably the best place to buy him. $6,800 in DraftKings opens up a ton of salary, so you can get in the studs. I think he's a tremendous DFS value at 6,800. Where are you going, Jason?
All right, well, I'll spend some money then. I'm going to go with Hideki Matsuyama. I thought about Finau there, but Matsuyama is $1,500 cheaper on DraftKings, and I think gives us just about the same amount of value. We all know Hideki hits it great, didn't putt well in Hawaii whatsoever, but he puts much better on Poana greens. I expect him to putt better at Torrey this week. He's done so in the past, has a nice record there. And so the ball striking continues to be good, and the putting is, like I said before, just okay. Just okay might be just good enough. So, Amanda, where are you going with the second play?
My second play, I'm going to go back to where I was a little bit earlier with Cameron Davis. 7,900 this week. I'm sure his value, or I know his value's gone up since last week after playing well at the MX, but I like his game. He, like I said, every time he's played at this course or he's played this event, he's played better and better. He's gone from playing well at the Amex to playing well at this course in the past. I don't know about his ownership too much this week, but like I said, at 7,900, he is a pretty good value. He's proven himself recently, and I can't quite get off that Cameron Davis, Adam Scott duo right now. So I'm going with Cameron Davis. Pete, where are you going?
Well, we got some money based on my calculations, and I'll make it a little tough on Jason, but I think Rory should be the favorite, and he's the second most expensive DFS play. So I'll fire in Rory and hope that the good play continues into this week at a course that is really set up well for him. So Rory McIlroy, 11,000. I love that pick. Didn't leave you the most money, but I feel so bad. I'm sure you can find a value play here, Jason.
I told you, Peter, I like a lot of long shots this week. I don't think our lineup is differentiated enough just yet. I think we've got at least 3 or 4 pretty highly owned players in this. So I'm going to go off the board a little bit and take a long shot who's been under the radar, but been playing very, very solid golf. Kramer Hickok. This guy's another Texas product. He's an old roommate of Jordan Spieth's. He's at 6,800 right now. He's added a lot of distance to his game, finished in 21st place last week at the Amex, and I expect him to continue this week. And if he does, my guess is, Pete, you're better at this stuff than me, but what, 1-2% for Hickok this week?
Yeah, under 5. I feel confident in.
Okay, so there's our lineup. Adam Scott, Wyndham Clark, Hideki Matsuyama, Cameron Davis, Rory McIlroy, and Kramer Hickok. Ship it. All right, let's get to our giveaway. Speaking of shipping stuff, we asked for your favorite bets for this week's Farmers Insurance Open. And Amanda spent the entire week going through millions and billions and trillions of tweets. Who's going to win the golf bet hat this week, Amanda?
Well, I'm going to tell you who's not going to win, and that's at Cleveland Cause. He came in very close. Some submission from a viewer that didn't win. He said Benny on 100-1. He hits it long, and his putter is going to get hot.
Yeah.
The putter getting hot thing I didn't love, but we'll see. I know he's working on his putting. And the winner, dun-dun-dun, is Walk It In Pod. They said Taylor Gooch, top 20 plus 355, quietly having a strong 2021 and solid form at Torrey historically. So congratulations to you at Walk It In Pod. You now have a hat.
And that's our first Taylor Gooch reference of the entire show, which I'm actually a little surprised by because he is going to be a little bit of a popular play this week. I don't mind that whatsoever. So, and the Benny on play is not bad either. So good tweets this week. Thanks to all the viewers for doing that. And good luck next week if you didn't win the hat this week. Guys, just a minute left here on the show. Let's get to one long shot that maybe you haven't mentioned or haven't mentioned enough so far on the show. Pete, where are you going?
I'm with Patrick Rogers, so I know you're a smidge nervous about given what we talked about on the podcast, but I still like Patrick Rogers. Hit the ball a mile, over 300 yards, 30th so far this season. And similar to Wyndham Clark, basically dead last, 236 in putting so far in the 2021 season. He was 11th in 2020. Some regression with the putter, maybe a little bit of accuracy with that power. 200-1, I'll take it.
All right, Amanda.
I'm going with Alex Noren, 90-1. It's not a huge long shot like you guys, but he really shouldn't be considered a long shot because he's won like 10 times on the European Tour, and he came really close to winning on the PGA Tour last summer, and he finished second here in 2018. So I love Alex Noren.
All right, I like that.
Or
yes,
Jason.
playoff just a few years ago. how many long shots can I name on the show? I gave you Wyndham Clark. I gave you Brandon Hagee. I gave you Kramer Hickok. I guess I got to go deeper for a long shot. How about sponsor exemption Justin Suh? This is the guy who was sort of the odd man out when Colin Morikawa and Matthew Wolff and Victor Hovland turned into instant superstars in 2019. Suh has actually played really well when he's got a chance on the PGA Tour this season. So back in SoCal, where he's very familiar with playing a lot of golf, the USC product, I think is going to have another nice week. Thanks so much to everybody for watching this edition of the Gimme. Check out all of our Farmers Insurance Open content on Golf Bet and everywhere else on the Action Network. For Peter Jennings and Amanda Rose, I'm Jason Sobel. Good luck with all of your bets for this week's Farmers Insurance Open, and here's hoping you hit the green.